When it comes to your roof, you don't want just any guy pounding away up there. You want somebody who knows what they're doing, brings the right tools, and doesn't ghost you after they nailed it. Today, we're talking about how to choose a good roofer, and we brought in Luke Jacks with Castle Crest Roofing to give us some good pointers on this. So, thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm happy to be here. And just to touch on your intro, I mean, just like get a phone number so you don't feel ghosted, right? I'm just saying. So get a business card at least. Yeah, I mean, what do you want to know?
Yes. Well, let's do a fact or fiction just to kick it off.
Okay.
All right. Fact or fiction. A licensed roofer is a good roofer.
That's a fiction, right? There's a lot of major roofing companies, a lot of mom and pops, a lot of pop-up roofing companies that are licensed, and they are extremely a horrible roofing company.
Ooh. So, okay. So what do we need to look out for? Like, what are the big things that you're looking for when you're looking to hire a roofer?
Well, I mean, even for myself, I've had a roof my house. What I'm looking for is communication. I'm looking for making sure they're insured. I'm making sure, are they able to pull permitting in that city? And then what it, what are they telling me about my roof, right? What information are they telling me so I can make a educated guess again, or educated decision on choosing them as a roofer?
Okay. So licensed and insured, and you're saying that now, do the roofers get licensed through DORA in Colorado?
No, we get licensed through each municipality and jurisdiction
Oh, so it's sort
and
of
county.
like that general contractor license where you have to have the license in each location.
Absolutely. It's that, let's say if you live in Denver, myself, I'm licensed roofing contractor in Denver. If say I wanted to come roof your house and you're in Littleton, I would go to the Littleton building department and I would apply for a roofing license. And I would get a contractor application filled out, give them all the information they needed, and then I'm able to do work in that jurisdiction.
Do those go on indefinitely, or do you have to reapply every so often?
You got to renew them every year, and they do not. And I'm telling you, they do not remind the contractor. So it's up to the contractor to keep his licensing copacetic in every city.
So if let's just say I'm in Denver, I'm interviewing roofers, you're saying that I could call, or is there a website that I could check with the building department to see if the license is active?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely could go get a hold of the City of Denver Building Department. You can look up the company name, and then obviously the Secretary of State. Are they in good standing? I mean, that's another place that you can make sure that the company has all their ducks in a row, or if you're actually working with a legitimate contractor.
Gotcha. Gotcha. What about manufacturer's certifications? I know we talked about that a little bit offline, and that was kind of new info to me. So yeah, just talk to us about manufacturer certifications and when or whether those are important.
Well, I mean, honestly, manufacturer certifications is kind of a weird deal. When you work with a manufacturer, they want it's about volume and how much of their materials you are buying. That'll classify you as a different type of certification. You could have be gold certified, platinum certified. It climbs a ladder.
And it doesn't have anything to do with any quality of service or experience. It's only how much volume they're doing.
Well, it does. They have reps that come out and they'll walk, let's just say I roof 10 houses, it's GAF material, and I'm looking to get a certification. It's a certification says that GAF manufacturer says you are one of their preferred contractors. So they will send in one of their technical reps to come out and look at the work that you did, and they will sign off on the homes that they looked at. That way you can gain this certification. There's steps you got to do with the manufacturer to gain these certifications. I'm working with a contractor right now. I'm not going to say any names. He got a job. It's a pretty big job, but he doesn't have the manufacturer certification. Castle Crest Roofing has a manufacturer certification, and that manufacturer told him that these are the steps that you have to go through, and the only way you're going to get this job or you be able to do it and get a warranty is if you work with Luke Jacks from Castle Crest Roofing. And that just arose just this week.
Well, and that was something that I didn't realize was that It's not that the manufacturer's certification certifies that the person knows what they're doing with that particular product, but then the really interesting thing for the consumer here is that the manufacturer's warranty is not valid unless an installer put it in who was certified, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I did not know that.
I mean, your manufacturer warranty has a lot of components. When you're going to get a full manufacturer roofing system warranty, you have to use all that manufacturer's products. You can't mix and match. They want you to use GAF from all the underlayment to the nails to the starter to the ice and water shield.
You know what's funny about that? That's like skincare. When you have a skincare system, you don't want to mix and match different brands.
Or skip a routine, right? Like you cannot skip a component to that.
No, so how many different I imagine there's probably hundreds of manufacturers of roofing materials.
For the shingle aspect, you have Owens Corning, you have your GAF, you have your Atlas, you have your Malarkey, you have I mean, there's probably missing a few, but those are the brands that I've worked with. I specifically work with Malarkey. You have IKO. These are just they're reputable for the materials and the way they build their product.
Okay. All right, gotcha. So how can you tell? So I know we've been talking about the manufacturers, but let's go back to talking about the roofing companies, the roofers. What are some things to make sure that we're getting a reputable roofer? I know we said, the license, the manufacturer certifications, being licensed and insured and bonded.
I'm not, you necessarily don't need to be bonded to be a roofer. It just depends. I'm on commercial properties. They ask for a bond, and it's usually for a performance bond when you're working with large GCs or just private owners. That's the only thing. They're just looking for the bond. The bond just says that you're going to get to do the work and the work's going to get completed. Mm-hmm. That's all it does. It just protects you to make sure it's going to get finished. And other than that, the bond doesn't really carry weight.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it does and it doesn't, right? Like only time I've been asked for bonding is if I was doing a large commercial property and they just wanted it, make sure that I was going to do the job, finish the job, and pay the materials.
Right. Well, and you mentioned checking the Secretary of State website that the company is in good standing. What else? What are we missing?
How long have they been in business? I mean, like, are they a local company? Where are they established at? What's the license plate on their truck? I mean, you get a lot of pop-up companies when there's a good hailstorm. Hundreds of roofing companies will come into the state from other states to roof the hailstorm, to chase it. Mm-hmm. And then from that is like, okay, well, do they have an office that's established here? If they do, is it a satellite office? Has it been open for 4 or 5 years? Those are the things that we all need to look at.
Well, and I think too, we had this other episode with our home inspector about how to choose a good home inspector, and a couple of other things that we talked about were Google reviews and referrals too.
Absolutely. Like a lot of, let's just say there's somebody in your circle that knows a roofing contractor, right? There's a lot of us out there.
I think there might be as many roofers as there are realtors.
Yes, it's like 3,000 or something right now.
Oh God, I think the realtors are like 40 or 60,000 or something.
It's insane, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, someone in your circle has had their house re-roofed and they have a guy or they have a company that they want to refer to you. And I'll tell homeowners, I'm not here to change your mind to roof with me versus your friends and family's referral. If that's who you're comfortable with, by all means, use that contractor because they're coming from a group of doing multiple homes in your circle. So now you just feel comfortable and it's going to get done correctly. As far as for me, I mean, of course, I want to bring quality back to the industry. I do not want to be known as a storm chaser or just a guy who's looking at hailed roofs. I want referred business. I want repeat business. I want to build a relationship. And that's what differs. And you can find that out in the first 2 or 3 minutes when talking to a roofing contractor.
What about the opposite end of that? Because I can see like who you are and who you want to be, talking about quality, right? What's at the other end of that spectrum? Like, what are some of the red flags to watch out for? Like, what are some of the things that you know are going on in your industry with just shitty roofers?
Well,
What do they do?
depending on the size of the company, right? Let's go for a multi-million-dollar corporate roofing company. They have the funding to get your roof done without asking for any monies up front. That's a perk to that. But at the same time, you're dealing with a corporation. You're not working with somebody local. You're not working with a mom and pop, small business. Like, we always want to help small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when it comes to a smaller contractor, they will ask for a down payment. That's the red flag.
Oh.
That's the gray area. If you can work or get your roof done without looking at paying a down payment, because a lot of times there's 50%, 60% that these contractors are asking for, then a lot of times it's known that roofing contractors will get all these down payments, 10 or 15 homes, and then they will shut down shop and leave town.
Yikes. Well, see, and if somebody came to me like that, that seems reasonable because that is a contractor thing. Like,
It is.
I can do this job for you, but I need you to give me half up front because I have to go buy the materials for the job. So, what you're saying is that, like, a reputable roofer has enough in their coffers to get materials for your job without charging you up front.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying all reputable roofers have that option, right? They have credit lines. Myself, I have a credit line at my supplier. So let's just say you wanted me to roof your roof. I'd give you a cost estimate. If I needed money up front, I would specifically show you the invoice that I paid for the materials, that money went directly to that specific bill for the portion of your re-roof. There is other contractors that we do need money up front, right? Like, it's a cost. Not all of us have an operating capital of, I don't know, $100,000 or $1 million, which would be nice. But with smaller companies who really do good work, a lot of times they're gonna do their best on making sure that they can get the roof done with not as such a big hit up front for the cost. I mean, these are things you can ask up front. Like, do you have anybody English speaking that's going to help me? If I have any questions, they can answer it. A lot of times they'll say, well, you just call me. I'm a salesperson, right? I always pride myself in always having somebody that can speak to the homeowner if they have a question, even if it's not their job. That way they can, like, hey, the homeowner asked me this. They'll call me. I call the homeowner, or I show up to the job and I handle any problems or answer any questions.
Mm-hmm. There was something else. Oh, contracts. Like, is it normal to have to sign a contract? Like, because they're giving you an estimate, they're showing you, like, here's all the labor and material that we plan to do for your roof. Here's the cost estimate. Should the consumer be expecting to sign some sort of contract to get going?
Let's just say you found the contractor. It's an insurance claim or a retail claim. You like what you're working with. You like the scope of work. You see it outlined. You see the costs. If there's any cost savings, they outline it. If there's any added costs or unforeseen, there could be unforeseens, and there'd be a line for that. $75 for plywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's to remove and replace any damaged plywood. You do not have to sign that contract. You can take that contract and shop it with other roofing contractors as well, which is not unheard of because homeowners do it all the time.
Well, and that goes to this idea of, like, again, this high pressure sales tactic. If somebody is, like, trying to force you to sign something same day, or, like, the price is only good for that one day, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunately, to me, that's bad business. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Living life is already high pressured already. Why do I need someone else to pressure me and make a decision? But at the same time, is it an insurance claim? Do you feel like that they're going to be able to take you through the whole insurance process flawlessly with no hiccups and not have any headaches or just any concerns, right? They will walk you through that process.
The the license plates thing, that was funny because you kind of briefly touched on storm chasers, and I just want to briefly mention that I think we have another episode coming up where we're going to dig in a little bit further to storm chasers. So watch for that.
Please do.
All right. What are there any questions that consumers should be sure to ask, like, as they're talking to I mean, the stuff we've been talking about it already. Um, what else haven't we mentioned?
How long is the process gonna take? Um, how long before the materials get delivered? Are you gonna do a roll off on my driveway, or are you gonna use a dump trailer? It's night and day difference. What time are you gonna start? When am I on the schedule? I gave you this down payment and I've got to wait 3 months. Like, no, absolutely not. Like, how soon can we get this done? I mean, do you see any issues with material shortages? Obviously, we haven't had hail much this year, so the materials are everywhere right now.
Mm.
But if it was a huge statewide storm like we've seen in the past, then yards become depleted. So those are the things: lead time on materials, what kind of dumpster are they going to use? Maybe you have a decorative driveway and you want them to use a dump trailer which has wheels instead of a heavy steel roll off that just scrapes across your driveway.
Oh, okay. Good to
Um,
know.
what do they do for prep? Do you have garden trinkets, things like that you need to protect? Are they putting tarps down? There's a lot of factors that you can ask up front to vet that contractor. And a lot of times they'll give you all the information. And usually the contractor who gives you all that information and makes you feel comfortable is the one that's going to do a good job.
Hmm. Well, and, from the consumer side and, non-professional, I think about getting a roof done and I think about the shingles, right? Like they got to tear off shingles and they got to put shingles back on. But it seems to me like there's probably this whole scope of work that is part of re-roofing. And can you just kind of like go through like what all should somebody
Oh yeah,
expect that full scope of work to be?
absolutely. Let's say you have an insurance claim. We'll just start there. And there's a lot of depth in this scope of work on an insurance claim because these roofing contractors are going to maximize your insurance claim, and that's how we make money. That's how we're profitable, is by maximizing the supplementing process to the insurance company to pay us. Um, so with that being said, one, I mean, there's city code upgrades. There's certain requirements that you have to do to make sure your roof passes. Um, let's just say for Firestone, up there, I roof many homes up there. First of all, to pass the city inspection, you need a mid-roof inspection. So your scope of work should be outlined as far as removal of existing shingles down the deck, inspecting the deck. Are you installing, you want new drip edge, which goes around all the rakes of the eaves. If you're getting new gutters, these are things that'll be outlined in that scope of work. As far as like everything in the scope, let's just say we remove down the deck, we get it all off, we inspect the deck, we're good. Well, now we're going to apply ice and water shield, which is required by every jurisdiction and county to have at your eaves 24 inches into the livable space of your home and in the valleys. That's where all your ice damming and everything happens during winter.
Mhm.
Then we are required to install a synthetic underlayment, 15 pound, and then we're required to install new drip edge. We're not required to install new drip edge. Some homeowners are like, "Oh, I'll just reuse what we have," but we have to use a starter course on the edge of your roof at the rakes and eaves. And a lot of companies do starter course around the whole perimeter of your house because this is what your shingle is going to adhere to once we nail the shingle into your roof.
Mhm.
And it allows it to not lift up during the wind. So your scope of work's gonna have I always say
Well, flashings too, right? Like,
new pipe boots, new vent, new box vents. Maybe a rain cap got destroyed on one of your exhaust stacks coming out of your roof. Storm collars that go around at the bottom of that to deter any water that's trying to enter into the pipe boot itself.
mhm.
Those are your flashings. Step flashing. Let's just say on a steep, you have a fascia wall to a steep roof transition. A lot of times, some homes don't have step flashing. So by city code, when we're required to install new step flashing in that area. Head wall flashing. When you walk up to a home and you see the front of your house, there is a piece of 4x4 head wall flashing that goes up underneath your siding or stucco or whatever you have in that area, and your shingles get installed, that gets secured down to the top of the shingle. They'll caulk the nail holes, and then they'll put a beauty strip on top of it so you don't see it.
Yeah. So, Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that goes into a roof. It's not just the shingles.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish it was. It'd make it a lot easier. But like I said, it's just if you ask the questions, always ask questions. And if you at any moment you don't feel comfortable about what they're answering or what's about to happen, stop work.
Mhm.
Protect yourself.
What about, yes, isn't that a good piece of advice for any contractors, right? Like, and don't pay them if you're unhappy.
Yes.
Like, do not, do not pay them if you're unhappy. So let's say that a homeowner has a roofing estimate. They went out, they shopped it, like you were saying, they got a few more. Now we have 3 or 4 to look at. Um, what tips do you have for homeowners in terms of comparing different estimates?
Well, I just recently helped a homeowner in Loveland. She had roofing estimates from back to 2020 and all the way up to 2023. She says she had her insurance money stole by one of the companies who closed shop, but then the lawyer got a hold of that company and they refunded the money back. And those 3 companies who gave the estimates had no follow-up or follow-through with any of them. So the homeowner was still in limbo of not getting her roof done. And the thing about it was for this, when you have, my thing is this, shopping an estimate for a retail bid, I understand, right? I get it because it's not through the insurance. Now, if you're shopping a bid, and this is what homeowners get tricky with, is if they shopping you on insurance money, that's illegal because that money is supposed to be paid to the contractor to put back into your home. That's how you keep your homeowner's insurance. So if I have a homeowner, and we'll circle back, but if I have a homeowner who says, well, I'm shopping you and it's an insurance bid, I said, well, good luck. I won't take it because if I'm going to do your work and it's an insurance claim, then I'm going to work for that money. That money's technically not yours. If you don't get your roof done, the next time you need to get your roof done in an insurance claim, they're going to depreciate how much money to get back to you. So now it becomes more money out of pocket for you to get your roof done if you just would have put all that money back into it. When you're looking at 3 or 4, I would say 2 to 3 claim estimates.
Okay.
Who did you feel comfortable with? Does that company have any referrals? I mean, are they local? I mean, those are the things that you're going to have to stop.
Stuff.
We don't know something's bad until it's bad. You can't stop it, right? I can give all the advice. I can give you all the tools to make a better educated decision, but maybe that contractor is just having an off day and something goes awry. Well, when that happens, how fast are they fixing the problem? Are they replacing anything that got damaged? And then how soon will the job be done? That's what you're looking at.
Well, yeah, and I guess what I was thinking about is this whole, circling back to what we were just saying, like, it's not just the shingles, there's all these other things. And so, shouldn't we be seeing all of those other things on the estimate? Because I have definitely seen estimates that it was sort of like, oh, we're going to use these shingles. And, and I start asking them about other stuff and wanting to add it on. I just don't know that all of them are really spelling out what's included in that estimate. And I think it's smart to make sure they do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard, right? You're a homeowner, you don't know anything about roofing.
Right.
What do how do you know what needs to be included, not included? I mean, when your roof is getting installed, how do we know that they're actually doing those steps outlined in a scope of work to give you the proper roof for a proper final inspection?
Well, and hopefully that's where the permitting comes in, because isn't that part of the permitting process that the city sends somebody out to kind of check on things and make sure that it's being done appropriately?
That's a good question because the city of Denver and some jurisdictions do require mid-roof inspection. That's where you can get a inspector on your roof to see if the job is getting done correctly.
Okay.
A lot of jurisdictions only require pictures, right? And we don't know if the proper materials are being installed. We don't know if the proper pictures are being taken or submitted to that city. So as a homeowner, we kind of have to do our due diligence. Like I said, just kind of figure out, like Google roofing scope of work, the basics. And unfortunately, we're in this time and era where we have to double check, triple check people that are doing work on our homes. And, or, something's going to go awry or we're just not aware of what's happening. My thing and biggest thing is this. try to find someone that's a roofing company that a friend or family or multiple people have used. I mean, seriously, guys, like as much as I want more business, I want everybody, again, bringing quality back and bringing trust back to this industry. Like, use somebody that's referred to you. And a lot of times it's 9 times out of 10, it's the way to go, because that you already know they've done a good job.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up for us on this one, how to choose a good roofer. And Luke Jacks with Castle Crest Roofing has given us so many good tips and lots of good advice on that. So thank you so much for
Yeah,
being here today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And we'll see you on the next episode.
Next time.
If you like this content and want to support the channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go.